We know real estate mogul Ryan Serhant from Bravo's hit show $1 Million Listing, New York, and Sell It Like Serhant. Now he's sharing his secrets for success in the new book, Sell It Like Serhant, How to Sell More, Earn More, and Become the Ultimate Sales Machine. Please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Ryan Serhant.
What's up? I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you.
I totally forgot it was coming out. I was just listening. Hi, I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you. How are you?
We really engrossed in our conversation about Burton.
Oh, I was like, I don't want to talk about the book. I want to talk about puppet penis. Yeah. Right.
This is a show to come to if you want to talk about puppet penis.
What goes on under the bubbles? We want to know.
Yeah.
Friction, hashtag friction.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Right, thank you so much for joining us. We're really pumped to have you, obviously, big fan of the show, and so excited that you're gonna share some of your knowledge in this book. What was the journey like to get to this book, though? Why was it something you wanted to do?
So I've been in the real estate business, the sales business, for about 10 years now. Like almost exactly 10 years. I got into it the day Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy in 2008.
Good timing.
Yeah, because my hand model career had died. This was true. That's how I paid rent.
Can you show me some?
I know, now I'm just like looking at your
hand pose while you're on that. Oh my God.
It's like Zoolander.
I played piano when I was a little kid, yeah. So I have like these long fingers, and I would hold cell phones for AT&T.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it would pay $150 an hour, and that's how I would pay my rent.
That's dope. That's not bad.
Because I was on a soap opera before that, As the World Turns, and they killed me off.
Oh.
So,
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and so that was a classic just career trajectory of soap opera doctor, get killed off, hand model, right, pay rent, get into real estate.
Yeah.
That's basically what you do. And taught myself how to sell in the city, and I am not a born salesperson whatsoever. And then got onto $1 Million Listing, have done that for 7 years now, and then did Sell It Like Serhant for Bravo this past year, teaching terrible salespeople how to sell whatever they sell so they don't lose their job. And then their house and lots of other things. And all of that stuff, I've been keeping notes for the last 10 years, different deals I've done, what I've learned from them, how to work with people, and just put it into a book because I had it all. And then I kind of, needed some help to make it readable.
Yeah.
So in this book, you talk about like the 7 stages of selling, like how to negotiate like a boss. So is this book made for like a salesperson or someone who has like had no experience and needs help?
Yeah, both. Actually. I think that I wrote it definitely for people who are in sales jobs right now, because there's a lot of people who are part of sales forces who are not just in real estate, who sell anything. Like they sell tables, they sell hot tubs, they sell shoes at the store across the street, and they want to be able to sell more because there's no ceiling if you're in the sales world. Right? That's the best part about it. That's why I love it so much, because no one will ever tell me that I've sold too much. Like that will never affect my income, right? And then I wrote it for everybody else who is in a regular job, who just wants to do better, wants to figure out how to kind of advance their career, who wants to figure out how to get their boss to give them a better raise. I wrote it for kids to figure out how they can make money on the weekends to be able to help give them more spending money. I wrote it for people who are in student debt, who are trying to figure out how to get out of debt to be able to maybe get a better job so they're not so nervous about paying rent all the time. Kind of literally everybody.
Yeah. And you know about that nervousness of paying rent because you've been there. Right. I mean, I think it's so easy to look at your success, but your journey to this started off really rocky in real estate.
Yeah, and it was important for me to point that out because I think a lot of people see me and they're like, that's the guy I kind of like but hate at the same time, and they kind of see that like cockiness on the show, but it's kind of like you have to beat your chest a little bit because there are 80,000 real estate agents in this city, and they all want to kill you, and so I think that just kind of comes out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it in there, but my wall, right, that thing I run from every day, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, is like having my debit card declined at Food Emporium on 59th Street, the Bridge Food Emporium, right up there, and not knowing what to do and freaking out and just sort of taking my card back and looking for another one, but then leaving and jumping on the subway and then sitting down next to someone I didn't know and then starting to cry, right? Yeah, I lived. I'm fine now. So, and that's a moment, like I will never go back to feeling like that ever again.
Right. Speaking of crying, well, you said you were a sensitive kid, right?
Yeah.
And then seeing you on the show, you've been on for 7 seasons, like you said, you guys are sharks, you guys are tough guys. So how'd you go from being like a relatively emotional guy to like kind of being somewhat of an animal when it comes to real estate.
Because I cry on the inside like a winner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, damn straight.
It's New York City, man.
Right.
Yeah, my tears are in here.
Right, of course.
Right?
I
Bottle
immediately
it
got
up.
that. I was like, yeah, me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, that's what you learn. That's what you learn. Yeah, that's what my mom told me to do, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, you know, it's like you take it all super personally. But I will tell you, like trying to act in the city for 2 years, which doesn't sound like that long of a time, but when you're doing it, it's tough, right? And you get personal rejection to your face every day, like because of your face,
right.
you know, and because like I started going gray when I was 16, and they didn't want that, and so you get a lot of personal rejection, and then a lot of salespeople get into whatever sales business they're in, and then they quit in the first year to get a regular job because they can't handle the rejection. It's too hard, and they thought they were going to sell this, but then someone pulled out, and I don't want to do this anymore. People are mean. And for me, getting into sales, I was like, wait a minute, you don't like that apartment, but it has nothing to do with my face? This is good. I'm totally fine. I'm totally cool with this level of rejection. Whoa. Yeah.
So what are some of the mistakes you think that people make when they're trying to sell themselves?
I mean, the biggest mistake that salespeople make when they're trying to sell anything is actually focusing on selling, which is, I think, counterintuitive for most people. But like, you know that phrase, a watched pot never boils? Like there's something crazy, and I saw this when I was making the show, Sell Like Serhant, when I would talk to these salespeople, and I'd go on that first day. They'd be one way with their friends and with their coworkers and off to the side, and then the minute a client would walk in, it would be like, boom, salesperson mode, hat on. Hi, can I help you with something? Can I help you? Do you need anything? We have 2-for-1 sales, this, and it's like gross.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to deal with that person. And so you have to remember that selling is very much like dating. You know, it is like going into a bar with every client. Like you can't tap them on the shoulder and say, can I help you with something? Like that'll just be weird.
Right.
That's so true. That's why when I go to malls, the guys at the kiosks who sell you those creams, who start off with all those compliments, always get me. I always buy those stupid creams because I think they want to date me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I just realized they don't want to date me.
Yeah, and I just gave you my credit card, exactly.
Yeah, wow.
So it's always, you know, it's the best way I can describe it is the best salespeople are the best, you know, are the best daters. Like they can walk into any situation with any client, introduce themselves, say hello, give them a compliment. Like the compliment is the greatest icebreaker ever, right? You always compliment people on their outfits, on their hair, their eye color, things like that that get people positive. Like, because you're never going to compliment someone and someone's just going to be like, I hate you.
Right.
Don't talk to me. And if they do, you don't want to talk to that person either, right? And it gets that relationship kind of going because you have less than 20 seconds to build trust with somebody.
Wow. Right.
And whether that's in a bar, at school, your future best friend, or someone you're trying to sell something to.
Do you think like your former like acting career has helped you become successful in real estate and selling things?
Yes. Yeah, a lot, because it taught me to listen to people. It taught me to make eye contact, which you were just talking about out there. That was funny. And it taught me to think on my feet, like improv especially.
Right.
Right, like improv classes in high school and college. And I tell everyone who's a salesperson now, and the people especially who work for me, that they have to take improv classes, because it teaches you to think on your feet. It teaches you to say yes to everything and just figure it out.
Yes, and it.
Yeah, always. Yes,
and it's weird. I feel like business people are always the funniest people in improv
Yes,
classes. Like
they
the
are.
funniest person I ever was in a class with was just like this lawyer for real estate, and I'd be like, how's this like, you know, suit being so free? Like the actual comedians who were like, I freelance and do nothing. They were like trying too hard.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it opens you up. It gets you out of your own way, right? Like you have to check your ego at the door, and you have to kind of get out of your comfort zone and just kind of be free and relaxed. And that's what people want. That's what people are attracted to. And then you'll put hand lotion on their hands, and they'll give you their credit card.
It's true. It works every time.
Yes.
I sort of want to flip it because, you know, I live in New York City. Real estate is crazy here.
Yeah.
What are your tips for somebody looking for a good real estate agent? Because I feel like there's a lot of people who will guide you in the wrong direction or try to take a broker fee that's too high. Like, what are you tips for the consumer?
fees are
those fees are crazy.
They are
Wow.
crazy.
How can we get rid of the feet?
Yes.
You can't. I mean, you can do it on your own, right? I mean, brokers are there, and there's so many of them because people need them at the end of the day. Like there are fees everywhere, real estate agents just talk about it and make it pretty open. Like we pay fees in everything we do. They just get hidden in the background, and then we don't talk about it.
Right.
But so I like to think that the best real estate agents are just super upfront, right? But you can always email me.
Okay.
Like that's good. Yeah, Ryan@ryanserhant.com.
Okay.
That goes a long way for all you people in the audience.
Good.
Yep, I'll work with all of you. And just trying to find someone who's intelligent in the neighborhood you want to be in and has history with what you're looking for. You know, if you are looking in Bushwick, like we do a lot of sales in Bed-Stuy and Bushwick, and these really cool 2- and 3-family houses, you don't want to use your friend's real estate agent who's only ever done things in the West Village. Like they can do it, and I'm sure there's real estate agents who are listening to this right now who are like, screw you, man, I want that deal. But you want to work with someone who knows what they're doing. Like you break your shoulder, you want to go to a doctor that's worked on shoulders before, not just like the doctor that did your friend's knee. Right? Even though he could probably do it, he'll wing it and it'll work out because he read about it on YouTube. Like you want someone who is intelligent in that market.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the show. Do you still enjoy being on $1 Million Listings?
Yeah, you know, we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
You're an
I
OG.
kind of don't.
really
I know.
Yeah.
I know, and I look like it. I can't remember my life really like before it.
Yeah.
Like I got into real estate at the end of 2008, and I went to an open casting call with 3,000 agents at the Hudson Hotel in March of 2010. Wow. So I didn't really give up on hand modeling until March of 2009. That was my last AT&T job, holding phones for a living. And so yeah, it was a year. I'd been doing it really for a year, just like running around trying to rent apartments to like 3 girls from Murray Hill with their dad as a guarantor type thing. And then I went to this open casting call and it just sort of went from there. So yeah, so it's a lot of work. Each season takes us about 9 months to film.
Wow.
And it's up and down all over the city, but it was a springboard for me. Like I wouldn't be where I am today without that show.
Did you ever think that you were going to open your personal life up to the cameras as much? Because we see sort of your family and sort of what goes on when you're not selling too.
I guess so. Like it was part of the deal. You know, like if you were going to do it, it wasn't HGTV. It was Bravo, and they wanted to see what was going on in your real life, and it was part of the audition process as well. Like they wanted to just follow me for half a day and see what it's like, not just in the office, not just in apartments. So it's been a double-edged sword.
And since then, you've been able to launch Serhant Media Group and kind of your own
Yeah.
production, which is incredible to go from hand modeling, real estate, reality TV star, and now you're doing this. So do you have more?
Well, Color is Your Parachute, right? That's a great book that didn't help me whatsoever.
So do you have any more ideas, like to produce more media projects, more TV shows, like that maybe star you, don't star you?
Yeah, we have a small group now. One of them is standing right there, and they're back in the office in Soho. And listen, media has completely changed. Like even just when I was on As the World Turns, like I saw the writing on the wall. Like we went from having huge sets to then just having half the studio, to then you had to take your own cab to get to work, to then like just being bagel bites, right? To then everyone stopped watching that show and we're watching reruns of Dog the Bounty Hunter. So that's when reality TV went from American Idol to what it is today. And now, like people watch TV, but anyone under the age of 20 is on YouTube all day long, right? They want everything when they want it all the time, and so I see media moving that way, and I think more businesses are going to sell through media going forward over the next 10 years than they ever have before, and I want to get ahead of that as much as we can because I think we can do something with it.
Yeah, and you have a vlog, right?
Yeah.
So what do you talk? What's that vlog about? Like, what's the purpose?
Oh man, it's a good question. I have these cameras who follow me because I wasn't vain enough already, and we do a weekly vlog on YouTube. It's kind of like everything that would never make it to television. Cool. So it's like the stuff in my car, like the stuff in like showing smaller apartments, like the stuff with my team, kind of like the behind the scenes life that I lead in the city. And people seem to like it so far. we're like, how Adrian? How far are we away from 100,000 subscribers? We're 2,000 subscribers away. Come on, people!
Yeah, let's do it.
Today.
Yeah, it's a big deal for us with our little vlog.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, everything you're doing is really impressive, and I've been watching you on the show for years. You do have a wealth of information to share, so I'm really happy that you did make this book and make it accessible for your viewers and your fans, because I think you'll help a lot of people.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us today, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.